Bangladesh politics. Okay,
Mm.
so Henry NFI is my best friend. He's a he's a lawyer,
Yeah,
a lawyer, and last 20 years we have friendship.
yeah, more than that.
More than that,
Yes,
right? So every situation we are came to hear and meet with Mr. Henry about
yes,
regarding all the politics.
yeah.
Now, our prime minister, ex-prime minister, mm, she is convicted some murder peoples. So our government plays a case to United Nations human rights.
Mm.
So what is human rights and what is their activities? Can you explain it?
Yeah, human right. You see, human right activities covers a lot of abuses of humanity, the abuse of humanity.
Mm-hmm.
But these days now, I think the human right org and then the United Nations, all of them are like toothless bulldog in that barks but does not bite. Most of their functions are lapsed and then very very ineffective. Even somebody who's very very innocent can be convicted.
Do you say,
So
do you give us some example?
like there are cases where an innocent person can be
Like Gaza,
can be convicted
like Gaza
for want
and
of
Palestine.
because of yes for want of evidence. That no, that of Palestine is different. That of Palestine is different.
So human rights
That
is
of Palestine, you look at it this way. You look at the background, the causes of their reason for doing that. Sometimes it is backed by old historical factor.
so
Like
human rights all the profile is not activate now.
no human right. When you talk of human right is an embody is a lot. You have the right to exist as a human being.
So some
But there are people who would stop you from being human,
Mhm. So
like
so
the person, a murderer,
mhm. So
somebody going to kill another person.
you
When the
know
person knows that it's not.
there is a massive killing in Bangladesh
Uh-huh.
last 10-15 years.
Mhm.
One killing in Shapra Chattor,
Mhm.
lots of students killing there. And secondly, BDR Hotta Mamla, it's a cantonment attack, and 56 officers are dead there. All organized by our ex-prime minister. But our government, now a new government, placing the case to the human rights. So all the circumstances show about Bangladesh and politics. So what is the action of human rights? Are they taking any action to her? We,
Yeah, that is what there is human rights organizations in the world, and then this it covers so many rights like the right to express. One has a right to express himself, a right to freedom of speech, a right to exist as a human being. So many rights that we violate. When you go against those rights in law, it is called violation. Then you or the people whose right has been violated can make a presentation to United Nations or human rights organization to take proper action.
if it is violated, but if it is getting action, then what happening? If it is violated, so we can represent it with the United Nations and other organization. But if the human rights take the action about the crime,
You see, what happened in this case is that the world being what it is now, with corruption and money, one's right can be pressed or extinguished. You understand? Like a stronger hand. If you have money, you can always find your way out. You can do whatever you want to do and get out with it. Because
So,
you have the money and you have the contact, stronger contact.
so is a bubble game?
Yeah?
It's a bubble game to human rights and the organizations. They are not taking any action. If I have money, so I can avoid all the cases.
Now, what happened is that when it gets out to all these organizations, by their function, it should be very difficult for somebody to penetrate, to go there, and then in the process of dispensing justice, turn up other people's life into a misery world. That is by giving bribe or by influencing in a way. 1 minute. By influencing the violator. Violator, because I'm coming 1 minute, let me just so that you can have the very oh no.
So human rights organizations established last Second World War, after the Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
That is the that is the background you are talking
Yes.
about. That
And
is the
from
background.
that,
That is the history.
that is the history.
Yes,
But that history is any one of the best action in human rights. Do you mention anything, please, which is the recommended all the things from the Second World War, and now the Third World War coming? So what is the human rights activities about the killing the people?
It's just a sort of a redress. Their function is just a redress to the violation committed, so that it will never happen again. The word there is just a redress to the violation that is committed, so that it will not happen again. So, okay. Let me come in full now. When you talk of, you first look at rights. What are the rights? What are your rights? In the process of looking for the definition of right, you have civil rights, and you also have civil rights as an individual. You also have a right in let me show you. You also have a right against the state. Against the state. Like, take for example, British government is being governed by their immigration. British government is governed by the immigration as a foreigner. Now there are cases where justice cannot be dispensed, or otherwise you call it administrative excesses, which a state can commit. You understand what I mean? So in such a case, how do you seek a redress? You seek a redress.
What does mean redress?
That is, if they violate, or you go by not doing what they are supposed to do, administrative excesses, going beyond what they are supposed to do. It's called, in law, it's called ultra vires. That is going outside the law. At the same time, they can be within the law, that is intra vires. But where they go outside the law, then you can seek a redress by appealing. By appeal.
So if it is against our Prime Minister and civilian, so how can proceed these cases?
This is why I'm saying to you that as right as an embodiment is divided into two sections. You have your right as an individual. You understand? And you also have your right against the state, against the government.
So when the government do something wrong, so what is the
When the government does something wrong, do you have power or something to go and whip the government? No, you go to the appropriate channel
so government
by taking a legal action.
So government is now fall down. So now the new government is come out. So new government placing the cases.
Now, when you talk of government, what is government?
Elected government, with the people, by the people, for the people.
That is, you are talking of democracy.
Mm-hmm.
You are talking of democracy.
Democracy. So if
democracy
mm-hmm.
it's like government. The governing body, government as a whole. When you talk of government as a whole, you are not talking of one particular person or one particular body in the government. You're talking of the machinery of the whole system, in which you have so many angles of principles of governance. Take for example, how do you define democracy? Democratically, your democracy.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk of democracy, you say that with regards to the definition you're giving, government of the people, by the people, for the people. Government is the people. This government, they are the people. Listen carefully. Government, these are the people. Turn it the other way around. For the people. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. So one particular word is always resonant there. The people.
Pointing all the
The people. So now that definition is an ancient definition. It is the same thing, but it's an ancient definition. Now, when I was in the university, a lecturer came and gave us a very fresh definition. He said, democracy is the government by which electorate, which is the people, elect their leaders directly or indirectly by their representatives. This one is talking of election. The people will elect their representatives.
So
how do they elect them? By election.
So where my case position? Now our government plays a case with the previous government. He does some massacre, killing thousands people. So new government plays a case to human rights. So other government now facing the cases. So is there any activities with the human rights to present governments or previous government?
When a government tries to turn other people's life into a miserable or go beyond what they are not expected to do, the right that is aggrieved will now make a presentation to the human rights or the United Nations, stating that these people, look at what these people are doing. That's how it is. That's how it goes.
Okay, so this is our first, sittings with this government and the people. So we are coming next any weekend. So
what happened is that if you are representing your people, you have to be properly briefed. Because what is
the meaning of briefing?
Brief. You have to have enough knowledge of what is actually happening and how the
knowledge about law.
No,
knowledge
knowledge about cases. Your people. What is happening there? What is actually happening?
Okay.
You understand? And the truth truthfulness of that which has been happening there. Sometimes your people can go and offend. If your people go to offend other people, what do? Do you take it to United Nations? No. So that's why you have to have knowledge, adequate knowledge, the truthfulness of what is happening to you and your people. It's a broad issue, very broad issue.
Okay, thank you very much.